once again to keep you company during this quarantine. Lockdown with the mad guy. Come on. We hope it's okay. Join us for some magic. Yeah. Thank you so much. Stay with us. Help us get your mind off things. A little magic for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, SHIN from Las Vegas. When did you first fall in love with magic?
16. That's when I first started. Yeah.
Was it when your older brother showed you a magic trick, correct?
Yes.
And tell me about that. Walk us through that moment.
So he showed me something called the slip force. It's a very simple trick. Pretty much it's like you are able to predict whatever card the spectator selects. And so I watched that for the first time and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Because at the time I thought magic was, you have to have some sort of special power to perform it. I didn't think that anyone could perform it. And my brother was doing it. And so I was like, oh, wow. He's like, you can learn this too. I said, really? He's like, yes. He's like, go on YouTube. And I went on YouTube and there's a lot of free tricks. I mean, now they're all very badly taught. You know, they're very amateur, which is fine. But it was a stepping stone because at the time I couldn't afford any tricks. So it was a free teacher for me and it was great. And then I picked it up and I kept learning it. I was also didn't have very many friends in school, so I had a lot of free time. And because of that, I think I became obsessed, and also I became really good. I really honed that skill.
What was your childhood like as someone fantasizing to be a magician? I mean, you must have had an imaginary childhood.
Yes, yeah, I very much so. So my my younger brother actually had a learning disability when I was younger, and we were homeschooled. All my brothers and me were homeschooled from my mom. So my mom really tried to focus as much as possible on my younger brother, which was a good thing because he improved so much better. On the other side, I was just kind of left alone, and my mom was like, here's a little diary. You write down whatever ideas, whatever stories you have onto this diary, anything you can create. So I didn't learn any math. I didn't learn science as a kid. I didn't learn anything. Yeah, all I did was I watched a lot of movies. I still watch a lot of movies to this day. And then, and then I kind of created stories in my head. I even wrote poems and stuff like that. But I think that's really what kind of, I guess I was always the creative sort ever since I was a kid.
So now we know why you had no friends, because no one was into what you were into during that time.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember your very first magic trick? Was it a fail or was it a success?
Yeah, the first performance was at my parents' church, actually. She made me perform in front of, I think it was like 500 people or something like that. It was an insane amount of people. And she was like, okay, you need to practice in front of people. So here's an audience. And I do close-up, right? Close-up magic. You need a big screen and everything. There was no screen. There was just a camera. No camera, no nothing. No camera, just a stage and the audience. And I had a deck of cards. And I tried to do the magic trick and no one could see anything. So they were just like, just pity clapping.
Yeah, pity clapping. Slow clap.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know there were different types of magic.
So there's I do sleight of hand close up. So there's the different categories is close up, and then there's illusions, and then there's mentalists, and then there's hypnotists, and then there's stage manipulators. So stage manipulation and close up sleight of hand, which is what I do, both of those are very similar. Manipulation and sleight of hand close up both use a lot of dexterity. It's like playing the piano.
Now,
Yes.
all the awards that you've won, being self-taught on YouTube, and choreographing your own magic tricks, don't you find that the magic that you've chosen to do is something more critical? Because now there's no lying. There's no, I mean, not that magic is lying, but I mean, everything is close up. There's no way of
Yes.
hiding behind a
Yeah.
prop or an assistant or something. You know what I mean?
That's
Was
what I
it a
found so
challenge for you?
fascinating with it.
Was that a
Yeah. Well,
like?
yeah, it definitely is a challenge for sure. But that's what I also found so fascinating. I remember when I first saw one of my first big shows that I saw for magic was a magician by the name of Greg Fruin in Canada, and he had amazing illusions with tigers and making a girl vanish and then reappear somewhere else. You know, it was very, very cool. But there was one trick that really stood out to me,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a massive screen on his stage, and he took a $1 bill, and then he slowly turned it around, kept turning, and all of a sudden it turned into a $100 bill. And it was the most amazing thing because it was so raw. There was nothing, no distractions, no girls, no box, nothing. Just him and his hands and the camera, just really close on a big screen. So it was very fair. And so I think that's what really attracted me to close-up magic, because it felt fair. It was very honest. There was nothing to hide, or you couldn't hide because it's so,
Right.
the screen is so big.
Right.
know?
Now,
Yeah.
did you take anything? I mean, now you're a kid, you're a fan too. You're a fan of Copperfield, David Blaine, all
Of
these
course.
great magicians. Did you take anything from them? Because I'm a singer, and I'd like to think that I when I watch James Ingram or Johnny Mathis, I have some of his tones because I've been watching him so much. Who did you watch a lot?
So I did definitely watch David Blaine. He's one of my biggest inspirations. He, in terms of close up, because he was the first guy that really made card magic really cool. Because before, card magic was a little bit, hokey, and it didn't really seem, it was just, it seemed very mathematical. Yeah, nothing spectacular, but he made card magic seem really edgy and cool.
And now you've been on so many shows already, from Ellen. You've been on Jimmy Fallon's show. It's supposed to be a great experience for you because you're so young and so many things have happened to you already. Do you think that you're living the life, or is there still more for you?
I want to keep doing more. I think I have ADD, so I keep getting, I I get bored very easily. So I always want to do something new and fresh, and I'm always working on new things all the time. It annoys my wife a lot, but that's great.
Now, is there ever a chance of having her as your assistant? I mean, do you need an assistant for your kind of magic?
No, not really. But she actually directs my entire show in
Really?
Vegas. Yes, she also does the camera directing as well, not just the aesthetics of it. So, because she knows, she never knew anything about cameras or camera switching or camera directing, but because she knows my act so well, and she has a really good artistic eye when it comes to magic, and not just magic but theater, because she does a lot of music. Yeah, she did a lot of musicals in Australia, and so she's just a natural at it. She picked it up really fast, and the show's doing great in Vegas. Yeah.
You guys are a great team then. How's it in Vegas?
Yeah.
How's it before the
Yeah, before all this happened.
how was it? You were at the Paris Hotel?
Mirage.
A Mirage with Terry Fader.
That Terry Fader's theater. Yes, that's correct.
He's
Yeah.
too, man. That guy is unbelievable.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's 11 years now. 11
Wow.
years now.
Now, what did he win again? He was a champion of?
Season 2 of America's Got Talent.
And you were the champion of season 13, correct?
13. Yes.
And also 2019, you got also a champion, yes?
Yeah. It was called AGT, the Champions,
Yes.
and it's where pretty much all the winners of each respective Got Talent in the whole world comes together to compete. So that one was pretty crazy. That one was I didn't expect that one. That was.
But when you were dreaming to be a magician, did you ever think you'd ever want, I mean, an audience is already pressure enough. Getting the people to get to your show, the selling of the tickets, that's another pressure.
Yeah.
Join a worldwide competition where other talents will be pitted against you. That's another pressure that we all don't need. You got
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
So what drove you to, of course, I'm sure mom also saw that it would be a good experience for you, good exposure, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, when I first saw Matt Franco win AGT, I think he was season 9 or something like that. That's when I first started Magic. I was first starting, and I saw Matt Franco. I was like, wow, this is so cool. A magician finally won America's Got Talent. So there's a chance for magicians to actually do well, because before, magicians were quite looked down upon, I think, in most talent competitions.
And now you're a champion. You're a champion of champions. Yeah. Now, with all these awards and all these accolades that you have, I'm sure there's still because I know you choreograph your own act, of course, with the help of your wife, and then you should have been a concert pianist.
Yes. Before I was a magician. Yeah.
Does the musicality of your experience help you with your magic, with your show, with your showmanship?
Yeah, so music is such an important factor in my magic, and I really do think that my background in piano and having studied music for so long, it really, really helps. It's easier actually for me to mix magic and music, because a lot of times when you see a magician, they're so focused on the craft, they're so focused on the technique, they're so focused on the prop, whatever. The music tends to get left out, and then the music becomes elevator background music. That's what we call it. And I never liked that. I always wanted the music to be the core part of the act. I wanted it to be the important part of the act.
And I think it is. I think it adds a lot to the drama. Did you choreograph or did you arrange the music that played during your time in Penn and Teller?
Mm-hmm. I edited it was Hans Zimmer, Time by Hans Zimmer. And yeah. I spliced it together in such a way where every single part of the act was synchronized with the song.
So do you follow the music, or does the music follow you?
I feel the music, and then I perform to it. So let's say there's a track, and then I have a set piece of magic. I have a certain amount of moments, that's what I like to call it. And so what I do is I listen to the music, and then I have to edit my magic according to the music. Yeah.
And you know, that also adds to us. It gives us the tension that you want, the drama, the oh my God, and all of this. It all helps a lot. Do you miss playing the piano, or do you still play?
I think I loved performing. I've always loved performing. And so, yeah, well, not being able to play piano was devastating at the time. But then when I picked up magic, I was like, no, this is just another form of it. And then being able to mix music with my magic at the same time. Now I'm still doing music and magic. So I feel fine. Yeah.
But some of your magic is also not talking. Very much like Teller, where you're just quiet.
Yes.
Why? I know that Simon Cowell actually told you that you need to step out of the back from behind the table. Do you do that now? Did you take his advice?
Yeah. In my Vegas show, you'll see I actually do a lot more of just talking with the audience, communicating. So there's literally half of the show is me being entertaining, normal, talking, making jokes, and then the other half is a very serious music tone, no talking, silent, like very artistic, abstract. So it's two different sides that people get to see to me.
Tell me about life in Las Vegas now. I mean, Las Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world, and many people have lost their jobs. And I don't mean stars like yourself, but people behind the scene, people, stagehands, directors, lighting directors, people who
everyone,
people,
everybody.
Can you feel it? Do you feel that there's a darkness in the lights?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I talked to all of my everyone who works for me, people I work for, and everyone's nervous. But we all know that in the back of our minds, we all know it's not permanent. This is just an artificial loss. This is just something that's kind of temporarily affecting us. Could be 6 months, 7. I hope maybe not that long, but realistically, it'll probably be 6 or 7 months, and things will go back to normal. But slowly. It's not going to happen like that. I wish it could. I wish I could actually snap my hands and then go back to normal.
We were hoping you could make it disappear, Shin. Now, you said earlier it was going to go back to normal, but it's going to be a new normal. Do you think? I mean, our audiences may not sit that close to each other.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering too. I asked myself that question. I say, when we get back, because live entertainment, that's what we all live for. That's our livelihoods. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I really hope. I think once the vaccine is found, and create it, then obviously everything will 100% go back to normal. But before that's done, before the vaccine is made, yeah, people are probably going to be a little bit apprehensive when they go to obviously a stage show or
Right.
even church or anything.
I think I'm thinking positively. I'm hoping that the new normal will be a little bit stiff in the beginning, but at least we're all starting anew. It's going to be with a new attitude,
Yes,
with a new attack.
I think so.
Will you
I
add?
think so too.
I mean, as a singer, I don't know if I can sing a sad song. I can sing an inspirational song to get your hopes up.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be adding anything to your act once you go back on stage when the new day begins?
Yeah, I might. I mean, I think when it comes to the virus, currently I'm performing with a mentalist. Actually, his name is Colin Cloud, and he and I will probably joke about it a little bit in a way of just trying to make it funny and take people's mind off of it and try to take it away from the negative. At least that's how I see we're going to be doing it, because our show already has a lot of emotional and sad moments in it, as is, without the virus, just in general. So I think making the virus even more sad and then having a sad story will just make the whole show very depressing. So I think we want to try to even it out a little bit.
Now I understand are you going to teach me a trick? Are you going to do a trick with me from Las Vegas to here?
Sure, I can.
Do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I have a deck of cards over here. Okay.
Okay.
Right. And I'll teach you this trick. How about that?
Really?
Yeah. I'll teach
Is that
you.
against
It's very easy.
magician rules? You cannot teach the trick?
I don't care about the magician rule. And it's funny. A lot of people say, "Oh, aren't you afraid of people teaching your tricks on YouTube and blah blah blah?" And I always give the same answer. I say I learned from YouTube. If people didn't teach tricks on YouTube, I wouldn't exist, or
That's
well,
right.
I mean, I wouldn't be a magician. I think I see magic the same as piano. People teach songs, and there's piano teachers that teach kids and schools and everything about piano. Why can't it be the same with magic?
Sure.
So it's a skill set. Anyways, so here's the trick. I'll show it to you first, and then I'll teach it to you. Okay. All right. So since you're not there to pick a card, I'll riffle down like this, and you just say stop anytime you want. Okay.
Stop.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. You take a look at the card.
Okay.
Remember the card. Okay. Don't forget it. Right. Don't forget. You remember the card. Okay, look, if I snap my hand, I think, what was your card?
I'll tell you the card.
You can tell me the card. Yeah, it's okay, because I'm going to teach it to you anyways.
King of Spades.
King of Spades. Watch King of Spades. Oh, wait, no, it's not the... Oh, no, you know what? That's okay, because I have to shake the card. See if I shake it. 1, 2. King of Spades, right? Yeah.
And you're going to teach me that?
I'm about to teach you this, yes. Do you have a deck of cards with you? Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is very easy. This is something, so since this is this is a trick meant for the coronavirus, and here's why. Everyone is Skyping right now, right? Everyone is FaceTiming, everyone is Zooming or whatever, video chatting each other. This is the perfect trick to perform while you're video chatting. They take any card out, it doesn't matter, right? But the main trick is this. You're gonna take the top 2 cards. All right, so take the top 2 cards and then hold it as 1. Very good. Okay, perfect. So that's the first step. Okay, so hold all your fingers on the card like that.
Hey, look at my card. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's a very small. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's good.
Like this. Okay.
And then now, as you're shaking it, you're just gonna release it with your fingers at the top off like that. The card's gonna fall.
Just fall?
Yeah, it should fall. Yeah, there we go. That's it. But when you shake it, you want to do it so that it falls off camera like this.
Off camera, like that, really quick.
Yeah. But don't put your hand. Don't do that. That obviously gives it away. But you wanna make sure.
Wait.
Yeah, like that. But you want to shake it a little bit harder. Yeah. Maybe with a little bit practice.
I think the whole world saw it, Jim. Everyone saw it fall. I'm dead. I'm fired.
Okay.
It's flying. Maybe I'm blowing the wrong direction. What do you think?
Oh, I'm not even blowing at the card, because if I blew at it, then it would go in this direction.
So you're just making.
I'm actually, yeah. The blowing is just it's like doing this. It doesn't actually do anything. It's just. It's
Okay,
like a
everyone
flourish.
wants to know how you got the smoke in your mouth. You can't tell me that, right? No.
That one, a lot of vaping, a lot of vaping.
A lot of vaping.
Yeah, a lot of vaping. Yeah, I keep it all in my lungs, and then I slowly let it out.
Cool. So now we have to play this back over and over again. So this is my YouTube right here. It's my Shin tube. Now, let me ask you this. For all the
Yeah.
people who want to become magicians, what would your advice be? Is it something, I guess it's just like playing the piano, like you said.
It is.
It's something not anyone and everyone can do. I've heard
Sure.
people sing on YouTube who shouldn't be singing, but singing is a lot easier than what you're doing. I would think I can't believe that you are so young, and yet you are the Mozart of magicians, because your magic is mind-boggling. It's magic. It's exactly what magic should be. How do you give advice to people who want to be just like you? And there will be.
I think it's a lot of it comes from dedication and discipline. Those two things. Because if you don't have dedication comes from the love of it. You can only dedicate something to an art if you really love it. So that's the first thing. So if you don't really love magic, I mean, you can still obviously do it as a hobby, but if you want to take it seriously, then you have to genuinely love doing magic. And then second thing is discipline. I think that comes from my piano playing, probably, because piano playing you have to do 8 hours a day in order to, it's a lot of practice. So that's where the discipline comes in, and magic takes quite a lot of discipline, especially if you're doing sleight of hand. If you're doing the stage stuff with the illusions, that maybe you need money instead of discipline, but yeah, that's what it's going to take. If
In the
you
world of show business, magic, you would be the doctors, because that's years of practice and education, and it's not luck. You cannot be a magician by luck. That's my
definitely not definitely not for close up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But is there another trick you can teach me or show me?
Sure. I mean, I can show you another one. It's called snap change. You've probably seen this one on YouTube. This is like the #1 most taught magic trick of all time.
Really?
Is when you take one card and you change it to another one. You can change back. But that one was I did a very hard version of that, actually. Let me do that again. Okay, so it's called the snap change. That's what it looks like. Okay. So it uses 2 cards. Same thing. It's almost like it's almost like the trick I taught you before.
But
you hold 2 cards like that. This time at your fingertips. Not back to back.
Not back to back. Okay.
Just like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and your 2 fingers are here. Okay, and your middle finger is now going to pull back on that card.
The middle finger is going to pull it back. So I'm holding it with these 2, and the middle finger is going to pull this one back?
Yep, pull the top card back.
Back.
Yeah, it's almost like doing snap. That's why it's called the snap change. Yeah, and then of course, this is the hard part where I go back and reverse it. That's the hard. The hard part.
Mine was on the ground already. But we love your kind of magic, the Mozart of magicians, and you are amazing the world with your magic. And you hopefully, if you can't make COVID-19 disappear, you can make our fears disappear with your magic, with your wit, with your humor, with your drama, with exactly the magic that SHIN LIM possesses. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, no. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
There.
Yes. No, you too.
You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home. Is that your advice? Tell us. What should we do? What should we be doing?
Stay safe, stay home, and also stay strong in the head. Mentally.
Thank you so much, Shin.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice to meet you. I'll see you in Las Vegas.
Very nice to meet you too. See you around. Bye.
I'm gonna make you disappear now.
Oh, okay. I'll vanish as well.
Together. Ready? 1,
2.
Here's a little magic. Thank you, Shin. Swept away from what I become, I see me dreaming dreams used to be so fun. Now today, a brand new day has come. I need you Fill my heart like sunshine from the sun. I could be floating, falling, stumbling. Will you catch me if I fall? You know I'd do the same for you. Magic takes time. It's yours and mine. I'll be there forever. Magic takes time, and our star will shine now and then. When you need a friend, I'll be there even when the stars won't shine. 'Cause magic takes time. Yes, the time has come. You and I together through it all, we've become one. Now today the battle's won. We made it through. Now every dream we dream has come true. We could be floating, falling, wondering, will you catch me if I fall? You know I'd do the same for you. Magic takes time. It's yours and mine. I'll be there forever. Magic takes time, and our star will shine now and then. And when you need a friend, I'll be there even when the stars won't shine. Magic takes time. Magic takes time, and I'll be there forever. Magic takes time, and our star will shine now and then. And when you need a friend, I'll be there even when the stars won't shine. 'Cause magic takes time. Magic takes time. Our star will shine. Thank you, Shin Lim. What a magical interview that was. He's performing and will be performing when the Strip opens up again in Las Vegas at the Mirage Hotel. So check him out. What a fascinating man he is. He's such a young boy. So much magic, so much history. You got to catch him. A new friend. Thank you, Mr. Shin Lim.